like, how are you doing? Yes, how are you doing? Yes, how are you doing? Yes, how are you doing? I am definitely much more awake than I am definitely much more awake than I am definitely much more. Crash is wide awake though. He's like in a party house right now, guys.
Is that all? Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the recap, but Crash is making jokes about oversized chicken being the special at the empty net. Like, he was with us, right? Like, what actually happened to him in real life? We're like, oh, yeah.
We've seen him, right? Like, he's just sleeping in his bunk. Now, how ironic would it be if this week it's Remy that doesn't make it?
I mean, he's on Roll20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he sometimes falls asleep, though. Like, we found out one of the sessions, he fell asleep in, like, the last 20 minutes of the session and no one noticed.
If you would like me to mark actual campaign quests in, like, bold blue wording or something so that you guys can only focus on story quests, I don't know if you want, if this Sunday is becoming hard to sustain physically, but you want to complete Ghost of Saltmarsh, I can install a patch that basically says, like, these are main questline goals, these are side quest goals, if that would be beneficial to everybody. So,
no, it's just, I think we have a lot of Saturday night fun.
See, as the elderly grandfather / lifetime insomniac, I can't really relate too much. So I just don't really need sleep. So I'm, like, always up on Sunday anyway. I was telling Alvis that this was supposed to be like my Euro game, like, because I was told that, hey, if you run a game like Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings, you'll get the Euro kids. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I think we have one Euro kid now,
and he only just joined.
Yeah, I had a Euro kid to start, but everybody's evil was too much for him. When they straight murdered a dude in cold blood and stole his stuff, he was like, I can't do it. So,
no resolve.
which is expected from some people. Like, some people legitimately are good in their hearts. So,
and now we're sitting here discussing the brutal murder of this guy we just captured.
Super bad in their hearts. And, like, he was worried it was going to push him over the line. We were going to have, like, a you/Dexter situation. So,
good morning, Remy.
Which, you, by the way, if Dexter was too cool for you, you could just watch that, because it's like discount Dexter. So,
I personally think you is way better than Dexter, but I mean,
you thought you was better than Dexter?
I do.
Okay, well, I will adjust my narratives for Garuda accordingly. You have told me that you like cotton candy more than steak, and I respect that. So.
I disbelieve, but okay.
Next, you will say that your favorite fantasy TV show was Sword of Shannara, which I will give you a bro fist for, because it was amazingly bad.
That show was on MTV for 2 weeks, and then they just canceled it.
They did like 2 seasons of it, I thought.
Yeah, you're right. It's like 2 seasons of it.
Yeah. Wow. How do you just wake up 8 hours in the future? Hoy is today. Well, that works too. Okay. I was trying to say boy, but Hoy works also. Is now. Anybody got more Spanish than me? What's Ahora? No. That's like maybe.
No, Ahora is now.
No habla inglés.
I've been doing that the game with the green owl for like 160 days straight. So it's pretty neat. I
Someone hearing him in full robot.
When we last left off, if it's too loud in the background, let me know and I'll yell at my host that she needs to be quiet in her own apartment. Hey guys, keep it down, please. I'll give you money to go get breakfast without me if you just.
Get the fuck out of your house.
Hey, I could go to your room. I was gonna set up in your room, but you were still sleeping, and that seemed creepy. Hold on. I'm gonna go run this game from Mallory's bed. Everyone farts in their bed. That's part of the appeal. In my
We're gonna have an interesting campaign
morning
session
run,
today, guys.
and I'm going to do this. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna close this sex curtain, and then you won't be able to hear me. My shoes off. Got it. All right.
Wait, that whole thing where you guys wear your shoes inside of your apartments, is that actually real? I thought that was just a TV thing.
Americans are super dirty, man.
Pietro does it. I don't do it. It's weird, but
wear shoes in the house.
Huh.
The ladies last night had money in their boobs.
Oh, that's just yeah.
Well, I mean that you can blame that on fashion designers. Like we need pockets, but nobody gives us pockets.
Women had pockets naturally.
You cannot blame that on fashion. That is
no, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay,
it's like
you have not worked retail. You have
not
worked retail.
Or waistband.
I worked retail, and I had to accept hot, sweaty boob money when I was ringing up some of these groceries. No.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
okay,
it's boob money or waistband money. There's no other option.
Yeah, but when I tried to pay with nutsack money, I got arrested.
It's because you have pockets. You have no excuse.
I even said, let me grab my coin purse, and I winked when I reached for it.
Oh, God.
Time I got arrested. All right, so let's do this thing. He will catch up, I am sure.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 minutes late at the most. Got it. All right, that's good because they're the person that would be casting Zone of Truth and using their really good intuition to interrogate this prisoner. So let me see if I can control music as a internet browser. That will be a good test. I'm sure it's a thing. Hold on. How strong are you, robots? Okay. Cool. Little loud. All right, cool. All right. I appreciate everybody being accommodating of these slightly less tech-savvy environments. Okay, so last week, we're going to recap because I have it on good authority that somebody just didn't bother to show up. So, and then somebody else just didn't bother to record the game. So nobody knows what happened. It was me. I had a backup stream set up and I didn't run it.
I went to dude didn't show up.
Yeah. So last week they spent some time doing an investigation. It was very Columbo. There was a lot of investigating going on. Eventually they found out and pieced together that there was more than likely a series of lycanthrope attacks in the city. And there was a guy that was killing everybody who had been attacked by a wolf-like animal. So they put their coconuts together after gathering evidence across the city and decided to trap this guy by pretending that one of their party members had been attacked by a wolf-like creature. So using Kreb and his thieves guilds connections, they spread rumors throughout the city that the lovely half-orcan cleric Willow had been attacked while she was wandering around late at night looking for a fight. They also met with local guard specialist Nicolina, who is this lady right here. And they also met with local Thieves Guild boss, the Goblet. There was a lot of old time NPCs coming out of the woodworks for last week. Eventually, they set a trap for the killer by having everyone go on shore leave, and only the core crew members stayed behind, aka the PCs, on the ship. Teleported in, tried to kill Willow, realized Willow was way more than anybody could handle. And then Misty stepped out the porthole, essentially, and tried to swim away. The rest of the group was on him pretty quick. And now there are in this hole.
Can't hear it either.
You're roboting pretty bad.
Okay. What part did anybody miss? What part did anybody miss from that last part? You guys are now in your ship's hold with the prisoner ready to interrogate them, right?
I thought we were in the bilge, so there wouldn't be any.
Right. Yeah, you wanted to take him to the bilge. Got it. Okay.
And we stripped him completely naked.
Oh, okay. No, we haven't, because he has his fear aura or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. There is that fear aura. So you do wait the full minute or so for to acclimate to the fear aura, then get a hold of him, then take him down to the bilge. Got it.
Yeah, because Jenna had enthralled him or whatever, right?
Yeah, I figured we could fast forward the 2 minutes circumvent.
Sure. So you guys take him down to the bilge. You strip him totally naked. Take everything, jewelry, like piercings, everything.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'd also like to check his hair to make sure he doesn't have anything tucked in there.
Okay.
No wires, no bobby pins, nothing.
Yeah. Wires.
Give me a.
Did no one seriously read Dune?
All right, so give him give me an investigation check, and we will assume an off-camera prison pocket check as well.
Bend over and cough.
Okay, now while this happens, are you going to keep rape staring him? Oh, I'm sorry. Enchanter's gaze. Is that still going to happen? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Love domaining him. That's a better term for it, I guess. Now, thank you, Twitter. So you keep love domaining him.
It's a hypnotic gaze.
All right. So you guys are down in the bilge, and he's stripped down naked. A thorough investigation of his person has yielded that he was, in fact, keeping essentially small thieves' tools in that glorious mane of hair of his. There was nothing in the prison pouch, though, that you could tell. So the man's obviously not a professional.
Is he attractive to Jenna?
Yeah, you got a picture of the guy?
Magically, he is, for sure. But, enters. Yeah, where is this mini? There it is. Move you guys over to your storm ship. Here you go. Yeah, so this is the guy that you caught. And he's down on the bilge now, just completely ass naked, like the day he was hatched or wherever Eladrin come from. And yeah, he is still staring into Jenna's eyes, unable to do anything but just sort of stare at her. All right.
Yeah, my last instructions are gonna be to tie him to the pole, the middle of the bilge. And then when she feels like he's safely there, like, she'll...
All right, so you guys are all down in the bilge.
I don't know if Willie's there.
Is Willie down in the bilge?
I don't think so.
I guess not.
All right, sadly, Willie will honk down at you from the entry to the bilge, which is right here. Offering his support, that's what his subtitles say. I'm here for you. All right. So down below, we gotta get a Garuda on here, yeah? Let's see. You were up in the crow's nest. Wink.
Thanks.
And yoink. All right. Okay, so you tie him up and then break gaze. Is that the plan?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, he's gonna have to try. It's like off to the races again, man. As soon as he can see and you break gaze, he's gonna misty step. NPC Eladrin, they get it back every like 33 seconds. Now, I'm gonna spare us the Benny Hill chase scene where you guys chase him down because there's enough of you. I hope that you would catch him again. But like, what would be your tactic to catch this guy that could potentially 33% teleport every single round as a bonus action?
Keep him blindfolded.
He doesn't have his equipment anymore. Did you blindfold him?
If we didn't originally, Alvis is going to, because Alvis also teleports and knows you have to see where you're going.
Because I was listening intently to everything you described, and nobody told me that he was blindfolded.
Yeah, but we can't really blindfold him until we get him where we want him, and then we have to break the gaze, right?
Yeah, so it would have.
You break the gaze with the blindfold, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a hood over the head, or that's a pretty classic Wizrobe capture maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a hot mess. You know what? Have Spencer, not Spencer, excuse me. His name is not Spencer in this game. His name is Willie, but he is adorable in both games. Have Willie give me either an attack roll or an athletics on this guy.
Okay, give me a minute.
Because that is where he would have teleported to. He would have looked up and saw Willie above you through the grate in the ceiling, and that would have definitely been where he tried to teleport to. So we'll see if... Ooh, yeah. All right, so he tries to grab a hold of him. Doesn't happen. So who else has got something to try and catch this guy? I'm just curious how it played out. I'm confident that you would have caught him, but...
I mean, ultimately, Alvis' plan... He would rush up, and then if the guy tried to teleport off the ship into the water, I'd do what I did the last time. I'd glide out and dive in.
Okay.
And if I had to electrocute him to make him flop around a little bit, whatever it takes.
I think electrocuting would be necessary, honestly.
All right. I'm going to have Willow shout a command at him. That seems like something that would happen. So the dude bro does need to make a save throw against that. It's a fey creature. He's got magic resistance. So... here we go. But he fails. So she commands him to sleep, which is hilarious because it's not a real sleep effect. So he actually does have to sleep. So he does lay down next to Willie and just kind of curl up real quick and pretend to sleep. During that 6 seconds, I'm assuming you guys mob him. And then you go all the way back to the beginning of trying him up and then blindfolding him and all that jazz. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. And yeah, Alvis, definitely, point that stuff out in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, after a whole kerfuffle there, you finally get him re-tied up and blindfolded. And as he sort of comes to with the blindfold, you hear him sort of chuckle. And he just sort of laughs into the hood at what you have done.
Are you done? Are we finished? Can we have this conversation now?
I think I laugh with him. Yeah, it's
so
funny.
I'm naked in the bilge of your ship. You think that this is you think you're doing the right thing? All you're doing is condemning this city to death.
You may have missed it, but we don't really care about the right thing. We're just kind of doing a thing. This is potentially a profitable thing.
Mercenaries.
So what are you up to? Tell us why we're wrong. How are we destroying the city?
I'll tell you. I'm a hunter of beasts. Your city is infested. I have come to cleanse it.
What are we infested with?
Lycanthropes, werewolves.
Okay. But it sounds like you haven't found the main one yet?
By reports, I assumed sea wolves, but they haven't been seen in decades. It seems to be a more traditional case, though.
Do I know what sea wolves are?
You may attempt an Arcana check to see if you know what sea wolves are. Yeah, so a sea wolf is like a werewolf and a sea lion had a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they are like aquatic werewolves. Their hybrid form is actually a seal with a wolf's head. Form is a seal with a wolf's head. Their hybrid form is a werewolf with essentially like a swim speed.
Oh.
Kind
Okay.
of terrifying.
Weird.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, what brought you to Saltmarsh?
I'm on the trail of a particularly nasty beast. She was having a field day in the southern kingdoms, and I was unable to slay her as she was captured by local authorities who didn't know any better, and then transported north. She was supposed to arrive in Waterdeep, and that's where I waited for her, but the ship carrying her never arrived. It's taken me a while.
What happened to the ship?
Was destroyed at sea by a storm.
That's not good. All them lives
Gotcha.
lost.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna look around, and tell everyone it seems to be like we thought it was. Does anybody else have any questions for this guy?
You mean like you thought it was? He kind of turns his head so that his ear is like his left ear is kind of facing your direction, Afra, as if to hear you better. Like,
None of your business.
Well, yeah, like you thought it was.
Well, if you had opinions on this, that means that you must have information. Why don't we freely exchange that information, and together we can resolve this issue, and I'll be on my way. You've taken all of my belongings, so I can't really offer to pay you. Though I could contact my order after you freed me and returned my goods, and I could broker a generous payment for your assistance. It's not outside the guild's rules to acquire local mercenaries for particularly dangerous prey, as long as you are accepting of the risks.
That's okay. Thanks, though. I'm gonna look around at everybody and be like, are we done?
What guild do you speak of?
I speak of the Guild of Blood Hunters, where we hunt down dangerous monsters, protect people. But sometimes for personal reasons.
Personal reasons. So this particular hunt is significant to you?
I have been hunting monsters for over a century. And this particular one delights in the torment of its prey.
Well,
yeah.
I believe it's only my presence in the city that has dissuaded the creature from her normal habits.
So you faced off against this creature. You stopped the attacks on the people.
I did, unfortunately, as a pure-blooded lycanthrope. The curse she leaves upon her prey is quite strong. I could no longer afford the proper reagents to cure the lycanthropy she left behind, so I was forced to kill her victims, lest there be more of her kind spreading throughout the city.
Are you sure she's a pure...
A third or fourth strain lycanthrope could be cured with a simple spell, remove curse. But from a pure-blooded lycanthrope of this particular strain, the cure is quite expensive.
Like how expensive?
What do you call them here in the Sword Coast? Dragons? 500 dragons worth of reagents per person? I just simply couldn't afford it any longer. The order refused. They said they were an acceptable loss.
Well, I think you
Does
guys
anyone
are
else?
real monsters.
Does anyone else know that you're in the city and what you're doing?
In my order knows we communicate.
Not your order. I mean, any officials or affiliates of the city.
We find that local governments, laws, and law enforcers generally stymie our efforts. And we try to be in and out quickly, unless we are invited, of course. Though I did not see any postings when I came to town related to these disappearances. I believe a lot of them are being blamed on some sort of cult.
Yes, but there is in fact a cult here in town, so...
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Take that as you will. But you said that your guild might pay well for assistance. How well might they pay?
I didn't get a general measure of how many of you there are. I think I want to say 5 to 7.
You are correct. There are 7 of us.
If you were to assist me, I could negotiate with the guild to pay each of you 500 dragons. The money that they would have to pay to cure people is something funny.
I mean, that's not a lot of money.
It's a fortune to most.
To me.
I don't have much personal wealth, and I doubt the order would pay any more than that. Suppose you can kill me and deal with the problem yourselves and receive no reward. and no assistance.
I do have one
Or
question.
you could just let it run rampant in your city and reap what you sow. Negotiates blood from a stone that has been bled dry.
Can a pure blood lycanthrope be... They can't be created. They must be born in order to be pure blood, yes?
Correct. They are the true species, not the cursed offspring of the species.
Does this mean that they are able to control their
For
transformations?
example, elves can make half-elves, but half-elves can't make elves.
This pure blood, however, you say she delights in what she does. Can she theoretically control herself to never transform and do this?
I feel that what makes this woman a monster is not her lycanthropy, but simply who she is.
How do you know it's a girl?
I've seen her. I've faced her.
Oh, can you give us a description of what she looks like?
In her human form, I suppose by the drab standards of mortals, she would be considered lovely.
I look over at Jenna.
Possibly in a luskin, human, pale skin, slightly colored, brown hair. He kind of raises a hand. This dude's about 6 foot. He kind of raises a hand to like the 5'6" mark. He's like, yay high. And then he raises his hand well above his head. Yay high when she's transformed.
We didn't tie his hands?
Oh, sorry. Then he can't gesture how tall she is. Fair enough. You, 5'6", when she's transformed, well over 7 or 8 feet tall. Curiously, though, her wolf form is rather unassuming, almost inviting in a domestic way. Sort of chuckles again. It's been a long time since anyone charmed me. Must be a powerful enchantress.
Thank you. Your flattery won't get you much.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, shall we adjourn above decks and discuss our options?
Yeah, do we have a volunteer to guard him? I don't think he can quite go anywhere.
You hear enthusiastic honk from above.
Yeah.
There's the sound of something large squeezing through something, and then sort of a squelching pop, and then a loud splash as he lands down in the bilge with you. Bilge water sprays everywhere.
Right on top of Aldous.
And he happily honks and splashes in the nasty water.
I think we have a volunteer right here.
Yes. This is the bad guy. He wanted to hurt your mom. So don't let him go anywhere. He's not your friend.
Misguiding beasts. A classic human behavior.
All right. Well,
I guess we'll head up to the.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't really have a conference room, but
I mean, it's just the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
I got a lovely couch.
This is black.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
I
Sit on the couch, anybody?
I don't think so.
You guys head on up to the captain's quarters, where you are going to figure out your next move.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. So, I feel like there's two different directions we can go here. Exact details TBD. One is, well, three actually. We could, I guess, betray Prime Water to the town guards. And, like, I would really only be okay with that if we could finagle it into getting his stuff. You know what I mean?
What does Prime Water have to do with this?
Oh,
Oh.
career Dad, haven't you been paying attention?
Yeah. The werewolf is a girl. She's like Aphrodite, and she's like Jenna's level of pretty. So I mean, either you two are werewolves, right?
Garuda, do you remember the girl we saved on the ship? You remember when the Kraken brought it down? When we all first met?
Oh no, I don't. I died.
That's right.
Oh shit, you did.
Well, we ran into this chick in Prime Water's house, and
We're pretty sure Prime Water's sister is the lycanthrope.
Yes. Which means he's one too, so that's fun.
And he wants us to just kill this guy and cover it all up.
Yep.
Well, you guys didn't know Prime Water was a werewolf already? I thought everyone knew that.
What?
No, I did not know that was the case until Lady Prime Water started running her mouth at dinner. Or was it breakfast? It was breakfast.
So Alvis is definitely like he's pushing that we deliver this guy to Prime Water, get paid for that part of it, and then also figure out what Prime Water was going to offer Afra as a job in relation to his sister, and get paid for that too, because that sounds like getting paid twice.
That was going to be the second option I'd bring up. Third option is we try and blackmail Prime Water. I'm a little worried about him just killing us.
No, that will not work. He is the sort of man that says, fine, blackmail me, I kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, there are ways to blackmail people appropriately. If you just straight up go and blackmail him, then obviously he'll kill you, but if you say, if you kill me, then all your secrets will be released because
I guess we could do the, letter with the lawyer thing. If we don't check in.
I do not feel that will work. I mean, the man is connected. He will have ways of squashing the rumors. He will have ways of damage control. I think we have to have an absolute solution.
You don't think Eleander gets any word of any of this? That he won't...
Oh yeah, Eleander will definitely take this guy out.
Cut quite a dirt on the man. Married to probably a undead vampire. Probably lycanthrope himself.
I feel like Eleander wouldn't pay us as well, though. And that's really what brought me here.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, that's why I said that, like, if we could parlay betraying him to Eleander into getting his assets, his status in society, his cool house, then I think it would be worth it.
He would not go for that deal. All he will be doing at that point is substituting one problem for another in his mind. He will want to remove the criminal element, not replace it.
Well, but we'd be heroes. We'd
heroes
be
that
the good
are
guys
asking to be installed as the new crime lords.
No, we wouldn't be asking for that. We'd be. And also,
asking
Eleander
for his
doesn't
assets,
have
his
to.
Connections, his house.
No, Eleander. We don't have to ask Eleander for that. I'm just saying we take it.
I mean, we straight up tell Eleander that we have enough information to get Prime Water convicted and executed, along with his family, and we tell him what he'll pay for it.
There's one weakness with this plan, though, and I'm just maybe I'm not seeing it. How do we keep Lady Primewater safe in all this?
We don't.
Alvis's eyes go hard at that.
Hard no.
I mean...
Oh, so, yeah. Primewater's sister's the werewolf, like we thought. This guy says she's a pure-blooded werewolf, which means guess who also is a werewolf?
I mean, they might not have the same mother. It's not a guarantee.
I mean...
Yeah, but also, do you remember when Lady Primewater was telling us how they met and he was just a little puppy?
Oh, true.
Yeah, that's the point.
I also remember when they said they repainted the house in blood.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
If they're purebloods, that means they have total control over it, right? It's not like fucking going rabid like every... depending on the moon cycle. Okay.
No, the sister's the serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, like, according to Elf Guy, she's just a sadistic killer and enjoys it.
Yeah, alright. I see.
But also, I guess she didn't kill anyone, actually. Like, all of her victims survived to be killed by the...
I see. However, that was just the guy taking precaution to stop people from turning in case they were cursed, diseased, or whatever.
He established that lycanthropy caused by like second or third contact can be cured pretty easily with like a cure, remove curse spell. But if you are infected by a pure-blooded lycanthrope, there are very expensive reagents that must be consumed along with the casting of remove curse. And he pretty much just ran out of funds to keep curing people. So his order cut him off and was like, you just got to kill all the people she infects. You required no zone of truth or anything. The only slip up was nobody blindfolded him, so he misty stepped away. Your character actually cast command on him, and you guys were able to recapture him.
Interesting.
But he in no way appeared to be holding anything back, going off of everybody's passive insight checks.
Right.
And he was pretty forthcoming with the information.
Right.
He did offer to try and get his order to pay each of you 500 gold to assist him with bringing down the killer, but he was laughed at. So.
Right. Let me see. And I don't know. I didn't tell anyone else about the reward from what's the name, the captain.
I think that was the saddest reward so far. It was from the captain, right?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Like the private conversation I had. I'll just turn that off real quick. Sorry. Just thinking stuff over real quick.
Sure. No, it's a big decision about what you do next.
Yeah.
Could greatly impact what happens next in the campaign.
Alvis would be fine with like turning this guy into the guard to curry favors, but is definitely not comfortable with arraying us against Primewater at this time, and definitely sees a lot more profit in actually working with Primewater. Maybe even enough to not curry favor with the guards and actually bring this guy to Primewater.
I tentatively agree with Alvis. I would eventually like to take Primewater out, but I just don't see enough profit in it for us right now.
Oh, and definitely over time, once Alvis, is firmly ensconced and married to Lady Primewater, we can get rid of Summer. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to fix you.
I think your order of operations are a little skewed there.
Yeah. no marrying of that person. That's for sure.
Once you're married to the already married lady, then kill the husband.
I mean, it's like you think Alvis cares about the proper order of things or like legal precedence. Like, no. He's just...
It's not a question of the legality. It's the question of the husband.
Him and I are tight right now. Actually, we work some stuff out. We're okay.
Squint.
So what does everyone else think?
How much did Prime Water say he was gonna pay us for taking this guy down?
I don't think he offered anything.
I think the words were it would be extremely profitable. Pretty sure that was the words he used.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything specific.
No.
Well,
up for negotiation.
Yeah.
Did he ask for us to, like, take
and
the guy?
I think you actually heard secondhand through Kreb that Prime Order would be interested in the killer being taken out swiftly and quietly with very few questions, if I'm recalling correctly, right? Was Kreb who said that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sounds right.
Well,
so you never actually heard from... Right. You never actually heard firsthand from Prime Order his opinions on the serial killer. It never came up from what I can remember. Yeah.
Let's see.
So let's take him to Prime Water and say, this guy's been hunting your sister. We brought him to you as a,
Yeah. Now, how
Does
we
bringing
get
him to the
there...
estate count is like
well,
quietly
I could just, put a simple suggestion on him.
Yeah, but our ship is being watched? ? By the guard.
I think
if it was being watched by the guard
would already
definitely would have seen your circus performance of jumping out windows and a big whale dinosaur, in the water and all that other craziness.
Yeah. No, and are you saying the guards would have intervened at that point, or they would have just continued?
Well, all I'm saying is that if you were being watched, things were definitely seen.
Well,
and if they were reacting to it, you assume by now they would have come, because it's been, we're going to say, at least 20 or 30 minutes, possibly close to an hour at this point, of tying him up, recapturing him, tying him up, questioning him, hashing it out, discussing things. So you're probably at about the 45 minute to an hour mark. So that's some slow police response time if the police were actually watching the house. I call them police, but the town guard.
Yeah. So Water never actually requested that this guy be brought to him, right? Just that he was killed.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like taking him there alive would be more
profitable,
difficult than just killing him.
Yeah, because I was
throwing him in the bag,
Would it be all that difficult? We're talking about a simple spell. We give him Bloody Bjorn's extra pair of breeches. Come on over.
The point is that he wants him taken care of without any questions and quietly. Us marching somebody to the Prime Water estate.
Yeah.
It may be a bit too extravagant.
Yeah. If you want to maximize profit, right? We assume that the guard captain and all that lot are probably going to have him executed because, tons of people.
And,
we the captain, and then we request because
the captain's reward was an insult.
Well,
yeah, but an addition, consider it a tip.
Yeah, it's not $0. And we just tell the guard that, we couldn't catch him, he was going to get away, so we had to kill him, unfortunately.
Because when I personally spoke to the captain when I went for a walk with her, it was basically like, I'll let you go about your business, capturing this guy, basically take him to the whatever their name is, right? Get that reward, and then maybe we can request some kind of proof after he's dead. Take it to Prime Water and be like, "Hey, guy's dead. Money."
You see, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather have the guards scramble around hopelessly for several more days. It's honestly worth more than the insults of the reward they promise.
We can drag a dagger across his throat, and Jenna can film it with her goggles, and we can just leave him in our bilge, and we can take that to Prime Water and get paid, and the guards will be like, what the F is going on?
They're not.
And then we can also let Prime Water know why the guy was here, and also then offer our services in handling the situation with his sister, and get paid for that as well.
Perhaps. Just keep in mind, though, the guards will not be scrambling around for 2 days because they already know about
where
this
he is,
thing.
essentially.
I basically admitted to, I'm going to go out of my way to capture this person.
Yes, but I mean, they don't know. They won't.
It's a shame it didn't work.
Yeah, I don't know that.
I'm a horrible liar.
Well, I'm
apparently
a
horrible
liar.
actress too.
That too.
Yeah.
But I feel like it might be nice to have the goodwill of the guards, like have them think that we're on their side.
Mm-hmm.
What if we could have it both ways? Hear me out. You said we could record his death using the goggles. See?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yep.
We don't have to kill him. We could fake his death or bring him back. Then, using this elf's connection to his guild, go to the guards with him. Provide proof. Prime Water is no longer the wiser, and he is caught off guard when the guards raid his house.
I mean, I don't very much think I want to betray Mr. Prime Water. It's just an option on the table.
I don't see enough profit in it right now.
What do you do if Prime Water betrays us, though?
Because that is only a matter of time before we are inconvenient to him. We know quite a bit, and he is probably fully aware of that.
What if we kill the elf, film that for Prime Water, show that he was clearly killed in our bilge, but then deliver the dead elf, to the guards, and so we've solved the mystery of the serial killer, blah blah. Guards like us, but then we can demonstrate to Prime Water that he was killed before the guards ever had custody of him, so he can't have said anything.
Yeah, like that's what I was suggesting.
Yeah.
But we're killing a man simply for the job that he has chosen.
Have you met us?
I mean, I've killed for less.
We've all killed.
Inconvenient.
Who wants to kill a man for a sunflower?
We've all killed in our time. Some of us more cold-blooded than others, but I've always gone up against mercenaries. I've not killed anyone blood that did not deserve it.
Well, then you don't have to be the one to do it.
Feels. Oh, sorry, go on.
This is not right. There is a way. There's a line that we can walk. We're talking about killing a man simply because he is inconvenient. That is laziness on our part.
Laziness?
No, it's tying off loose ends. It's efficiency.
He was killing people that he could have cured just because he didn't want to pay for it anymore.
He could not pay for it. No. Did you find any gold in his...
Peter, I find it quite funny you're trying to take the moral high ground amongst...
I am not trying to take the moral high ground. I am merely pointing out that we can maximize the situation with the minimal amount of waste. That's always been my position.
We are not maximizing the situation by betraying Prime Water. That's not what we're doing. We're, in fact, limiting our profit just to save this guy's life.
The truth is, his life stands in between our benefactor's interests, and that's all that matters.
Yes. And we can always betray Prime Water to the town guards at a later date when it might prove more profitable. I just don't think it's very profitable right now.
Like, oh, we can just betray Prime Water whenever we want.
I mean, we can.
I thought about it multiple times.
I do still feel like just killing this guy is a little bit unnecessary. No morals here, just don't see the point.
Well, the point is, if the
Prime Water
guard
wants him dead, and Prime Water, the man that pays you, that's the point.
If the guard questions him, they're gonna figure out that Prime Water is the problem as well, just like we did.
Like, think of the instructions that Kreb kind of gave us. That's Aldis's thoughts on it. Is that Kreb was kind of specific in the sense that quietly and without questions.
Yeah.
And that's the
so
wrench
the guard
in the
cannot
kind of,
question him.
Yeah, so if we're going to turn him into the guards as part of that process, we have to figure out a way to do that in a way where the guards can't question the guy, or else we essentially inadvertently become liabilities for Prime Water right now, and probably won't get paid for the apprehension of this dude.
What if we work with that police officer? What if
anybody who's trained in Arcana, or trained in religion can roll one of those checks if they'd like.
Can I aid Jenna in Arcana?
No, everybody has to roll for themselves. This is you guys recalling useful information during a conversation. You are on your own.
Ooh.
Okay. Afra, can you jump into secret chat real quick?
Yeah. All right, hang on.
You said you had to be trained in those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Willow not trained in religion?
No, funnily enough. She is trained in athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, perception, and survival. All of the wisdom skills.
We have a druid on Friday who doesn't have knowledge nature. It's hilarious.
To be fair, though, it wouldn't be much use.
It's so common nowadays, dude. No one appreciates the knowledge skills anymore.
I'll have you know.
I do feel like those classes, though, should be like, instead of pick 3 of this range, it should be like cleric should have knowledge religion and then pick X amount from the list.
Yeah, that's just adding a lot of shit on.
That would make sense, but I feel like with everything else they've got built, like you can choose different backgrounds, but there's an advantage to choosing a background that makes more sense. Just reduces player agency.
I've played other systems with like Edge of the Empire, which have extra knowledge things, and it can get a little bit annoying when it's like, oh man, there's like 4 different fucking like knowledge rolls, like one for Outer Rim, one for like based on planets, and like Star Wars stuff.
5e is pretty general.
5, and I feel like, you could just keep your knowledge relevant to your background, because you'll know a lot about your religious order, or stuff like that, but I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like maybe you read something about something else if you rolled a really high check on it. I don't know. It's been a while since
knowledge is power, and knowing is half the battle. I prefer knowledge. My barbarian I play on Mondays has expertise in nature.
Nice.
And I do not regret it. I completely salvaged a hag's head last week.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna turn it into a talking head that tells me stuff.
Do it. That sounds pretty cool.
Wait, what?
Oh no, we're just talking about intelligence related shit, really. Like skill proficiencies and whatnot.
So there was this time that I was in Waterdeep, and it was before I met you guys, and I heard a story where there's this big old murder trial, and murderer thought he got away with it, and then somebody cast Speak with Dead on the guy that was murdered, and got some testimony out of that. So that's something to consider as well.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
I feel like that's cheating.
Oh, yeah, no, I had that in mind as well. My
Thank
whole
you,
plan was
Garuda, for summing up magic.
Alvis was definitely aware of this and was of the opinion that whatever we decide, if we are turning the guy over to the guard, he will be headless. Because, quote unquote, Garuda had to take his head off from 100 meters. And there's no head to salvage. And I'm pretty sure Speak with Dead, I say pretty sure because I don't have it, and I'm going to not metagame here. I'm pretty sure Speak with Dead requires them to have like a working mouth.
I can just tell you what I mean, I haven't. It would be better for me to do it.
There you go.
Yep, it must still have a mouth and can't be undead. So unless this guy has a mouth that we don't know about,
a headless corpse will solve that.
Here's an easy solution if you want to hand it over to the guard as well without the head. Do you want me to just cast sending to the captain, be like, hey yo, you want a dead body? We've killed him. Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the way we go, then that could work for sure. But I think that we still have to figure out what we're actually going to do.
Right, because the majority kind of has been decided, and you all want to hand him over to Prime Order or kill him or whatever. So, I mean, whatever.
You guys remember the time I shot the troll head off with my arrows? That was dope.
Oh.
Yes, I do.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm a cool dude. I like you guys.
So, enough talking. Are we set on a course of action yet?
I don't think that we are. I'm unsure. What course of action are we taking? We have thrown around ideas, but we do not have consensus.
We are going to kill the guy in such a way as he does not really have a head anymore. And we're going to then head over. We're going to inform the guard thusly, and then head over to to Prime Water's place and be like, hey, so we did a thing, and we didn't betray you, so you should give us some money, and also we need to do something about your sister, because this is not okay. It's just gonna, this guild is gonna send somebody else, so.
I can't believe no one else figured out Primar was a werewolf. Like, it's so obvious.
Perhaps.
Not all of us took hallucinogenic mushrooms.
You should.
Can I insight Garuda to find out if he's actually known this whole time, or if he's just trying to pull fast?
Garuda, do you want to be honest, or do you want to?
I've literally been calling him Wolfman every time we met.
All right.
His name's literally been Wolf, Mr. Wolf, Primar Wolfman. Literally the entire time.
Now, keep in mind, everybody, we've got the tapes.
I mean, honestly, Jenna, Garuda is a mystery. You know, he's like an onion. There's layers.
Does our Insightful Rogue even need to roll for this? Should she just know, you're full of shit or not? I mean, seriously.
Now Afra, whose passive insight is boosted by her class abilities. Garuda 100% has known for a very long time. And I guess thought if it was obvious enough for a Garuda to figure out, that all of you guys had definitely figured it out.
I didn't know this guy's first name, so.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes at the whole thing.
Right, so, kill him, take dead body, headless to the guards, go to Prime Water, be like, okay, guy's dead. Maybe take his head with us, because, I mean, I don't know, proof of deed or whatever.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Jenna?
I think we've reached a point.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
All right.
If that is the plan, then how do you execute this prisoner in a way that would remove his head?
Decapitation.
That, and also make it look like he died in like normal combat, right? Don't like make it look like we tied him up and then executed him, because they could probably see that on the body, right? So
I mean, I could like Eldritch Blast his head a bunch.
I felt like it looked like a smashed watermelon.
I mean, yeah.
I at least want to offer him a quick death and not a painful one, which is you guys like
okay,
crush his head like a watermelon.
Like we can cut his throat and let him die, and then take off his head.
Sure. I was just gonna be like, all right, one swing.
He is tied up. I mean, Garuda can just literally line up a pistol and.
That works pretty well too. As long as you like, yeah, you should be good.
I don't think that goes off the head.
You're not worried about a gunshot in the middle of the night down at the docks, attracting attention?
I can cast silence.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wait, don't shoot him.
Don't shoot him.
Do you have another thought?
Come with a slashy weapon. Don't let him know we have guns.
Yeah, okay. We can cut his throat and then use that as the starter cut to saw his head off.
I mean, I don't know. Someone really strong with a sword could probably just.
I mean, yeah, cut it off all in one go.
So I was thinking, that whole like quick death thing.
Yeah.
But
well,
if you think you could do it in one go, then do her up.
Like,
I'm just checking something real quick.
Pedro, I think I saw you. I think did you lift up the heavy bananas box? Oh, but you don't want to kill him. Never mind, Pietro. Sorry.
Oh, well, guess I'll do it. Oh yeah, I should probably remove haste from me real quick. There we go. So what am I rolling?
If we're going to kill him, let's do it with some decency. Stab him in the back of the head where the spine meets the head, and then destroy the head with one of my warhammers.
Yes, Pietro, get into the spirit.
Well, that's why I suggested.
I mean, that's missing the point. The whole point is to make it look like he died in combat. That's our story, right? Not that we tied him up and then executed him.
If we destroy the head, if the head is caved in, they will not notice a stab mark at the base of the skull.
Do it however you will, just don't fuck it up.
And talk about a leader delegating the handoff of an issue that is too complicated to deal with themselves. Man, that is like every day of work, IRL.
So,
hey, I mean, we are role playing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect a boss not to. It'd be like, well, I did my part with the I-beam stuff. Good luck. Don't fuck it up.
Right, so base of the skull, is that what I'm hearing here? And then go in his head with a warhammer?
Yeah.
I will do it.
Oh.
I will do it. If a couple of you could follow me down to the bilge, we'll need to get his body up, and we'll need to...
What are you guys doing with his equipment that you took?
Yeah, what do we take from him? Anything good?
Anything recognizable we burn?
He did have some magical equipment. I mean, he's an NPC.
But one thing I would like to ask, one question I would like to ask before we kill him is, what will this do if we kill him? Will not the Bloodhunter Guild come after us?
Well, no, because we kill him.
Well, also because we killed him on the instructions of the town guard. Because he was murdering people.
True.
I am not familiar with this guild. Do they have any power of influence? Or are they just merely a bunch of werewolf hunters that are despised?
How would they have any idea that we're the ones that killed him?
Yeah, like, if they have an issue, they can take it up with the guard.
Yeah.
He's guilty of a crime.
The fact that he mentioned that they try to operate without the town guard's knowledge most of the time because they don't like bureaucracy probably says that the guild doesn't have a lot of influence in the region. Otherwise, they would operate openly. So I think that, I mean, you're right. They might send someone to investigate him.
I'm worried about more of these killers turning up on our doorstep.
Hey, if more of these killers show up, that's more money from Prime Water. So the more the merrier.
All right.
All right. If two of you will accompany me to the bench, please.
I'll go with.
Alvis will go with.
And I will go. We can all go. It's fine.
Maybe we should stab him a few times, make it look more combat realistic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and record it with my goggles. Also, I'm sorry if I'm a little hard. I watched The Irishman last night, and it really made me want to be an Irish mob boss.
I don't know any like actual prayers because there's none listed, but I would at least offer I guess the last right kind of deal to the dude before fucking killing him.
We'll walk in with this body in like crappy, like basically wrapped in a burlap sack, while we're all like tripped out with his gear.
Are we trying to make this look like he died in combat?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we're adventurers technically, so why wouldn't we just
like the fact that we're looting him after the fact just kind of like, I don't think that's out of character. If they're just like,
it's absolutely not.
Like, it's totally something that hand crossbow +1 PHO.
It's free real estate.
All right. I guess if we're all down in the bilge, Pietro will take out one of his coral daggers, and he's going to go up to the sun elf, and very quietly, so no one else can hear, say to him, "I am very sorry for this." And he's going to take the coral dagger and jab it into the base of the skull, killing the sun elf.
As you go to sink the blade in, he says to you in Orcish, "Do what you will."
Yeah, I killed him.
You end his life.
End his life.
All right.
And then I clean off the dagger and then get out one of my warhammers and line up a shot, and I bash in his head.
Right. Impressionable Willie watches and learns.
I'd have been distracting him.
Okay.
No, let him watch.
Should I be like stabbing the body a little bit? Just make it look like it was actually in combat, or is that too much?
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
And at that point, I put away my warhammer, pull out my rapiers, stab it a few times, and then I'll shoot it with a couple of crossbow bolts.
All right.
I'm gonna identify the.
And then I'm gonna turn to Albus and say, Albus, if you will get the elf swords, I will need you to stab me as well. If we're going to make this convincing, let's make this convincing.
Well, I mean, we have cure wounds. We'd have cured you.
Yeah.
If we're going to make this convincing, let's make this convincing.
I agree. You're kind of taking it too far. Like, there's no reason to hurt yourself. Like,
let's not oversell it.
Oh, no problem. I got this. This is fine. I should have went arrow real quick.
Alvis slashes your shoulder with the dagger and does like a very poor stab that like grazes your thigh with the short sword.
Alvis, that won't do. You have to do better.
I won't just shoot Pietro.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, dude!
I take it.
Pietro, you have been a mercenary for a long time. You have suffered a lot of bad hits. You have watched Garuda shoot people before and marveled at the shots. This hurts really fucking bad. Yeah, a 23 damage off of one arrow. It hurts really fucking bad. This wasn't like, oh, I'll graze your thigh there, buddy. This was like right in that deltoid, just digging in deep. Like, you might need physical therapy if you did not have magical healing in the blood of heroes. Like, this would have killed someone or crippled them for life. This is a nasty shot.
A bit over the top, but okay.
Feel good, Pietro? Combat wound. I give him like a little fist bump, or I have my hand out in there to fist bump him.
I fist bump back, sort of half-heartedly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
if I couldn't go join the awesome feminist pirates, sometimes you have to kill a guy that you don't want to.
Is someone being petty right now?
I give Afra a very cold look, and then I walk up to the deck.
Okay.
Damn,
Alvis
someone's
is just
thirsty.
like, he actually like jaw would have dropped when Garuda does that. Like, it's just like,
All right.
That
was a great
somehow is
shot.
crazier to me than the stabbing and head bashing that we just did.
The man doesn't feel good about it. You gotta give him his pride, Alvis. You gotta give him his pride.
I mean, I don't disagree. Just, okay.
Weird, don't do anything like that again. Like, you need boundaries, levels.
I just love that it wasn't
chill.
just a normal shot. You actually sharpshootered him.
I'm a killer, man.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! I didn't beat. Oh shit!
Yeah, the arrow went all the way in the feathers and out the other side of his leg. It was horrible.
I just clicked on his log button.
What is with this party? You have like one, like, I guess morally, like, you know, I don't know, someone with some kind of morals, and everyone else is like wacky wahoo. Time to murder this man.
My first session with this group was the discovery of I got to watch in a like first person view as they murdered a guy who was walking down the road because they wanted his spell book.
One person specifically wanted a spell book, but
No, you also like you're underselling it a little bit. We lured the guy out there.
See, but I didn't see that part. I only had what was recorded in the goggles, and that like
is some convincing evil laughter right there. I feel like I could make a soundbite, and that would just be the whole campaign.
Yeah, I learned real quick. I was like, okay, morality is definitely a
Gray zone.
yeah, it's a stranger to this group.
I'll be honest. When I was coming in, I was like, God, man, evil party. They like these guys don't. They're like, how do I put this? Like that cute, like devil emoji kind of evil is like the vibes I was getting at first, and now I'm just like, might be a little bit more evil than that.
It's
all
there's
right.
a little, yeah, we're like mob evil, you know? Like, we will do things that are good for the city because it raises our profile and makes us profit. But, I mean, we'll also take a guy down into the bilge and bash his head in. So,
I mean, honestly, I've seen good parties do this, but, you know. All right, so you have the package. It is very late at night. What is your goal now? And wait till morning. You're gonna take it over now.
Well, I was identifying the guy's magic items. I'd like to know what he had
I already
on him.
posted it in treasure.
Oh, it's all in treasure.
No.
I can. Oh.
We've been picking over it like vultures.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is there anything distinctive about the cloak of protection? Is it gonna be recognized?
If anything, the cloak is designed to be less distinctive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sometimes these guys had to operate outside the law.
Okay.
I think we got a few people buying for that cloak.
Dude, that's a cool
But a cloak of
medallion.
protection, one of the greatest items in Dungeons and Dragons.
much,
Why would anybody be fighting over that? That's crazy.
Yeah. A frontliner could really use that.
I mean, it's more than that. It's also saves. So think about concentration saves and stuff like that.
It would be useful for a lot of people. I feel like giving it to squishier people also works because then it's like less likely for them to die.
I am more likely to be on the front line, and most of my spells are concentration.
I mean, most of their spells are concentration for the most part.
Jenna got that nice jacket when we took over the
The non-magical jacket.
It was a nice jacket.
Non-magical. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
get the non-magical jacket of being non-magical.
I mean, I also
Garuda and Pietro should be very aware of his weapons, though. They're all silvered, and there's a hand crossbow in there, which I think Pietro uses fairly regularly.
I'll take the hand crossbow, but I think the silvered melee weapons, those should go to Garuda.
Yeah, I'll take the rapier and dagger.
Especially to use my trident, I have to be on the front line. I have to be in melee with people. So,
Yeah.
Oh, so Afra's like transitioning into a brutal frontline murderer now.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Rogues, man.
Very good.
Oh, you know what? I could have... it's too late now. It's fine.
You're like, I could have used Surge to stab him in the face.
I could have.
Yeah. Did you like
You have nobody left.
Yeah, but like, could I have stabbed him in the head?
After the fact.
Surge do what Surge wants to do.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
We could let the dice decide who gets the cloak.
Okay. I can do that. I want odds.
Well, I think we should just all roll a d20 and see what happens, yes?
I was just gonna say, if you want to do that, just roll like a dice, like with a value equal to the amount of people that want it, and then everyone pick a number, and then whichever one it rolls on, they get it.
Sure.
Take me out. I'm not interested.
I'm not interested because, I mean, I can get 22 AC, so...
I have armor that can protect me from any damage other than a crit, so I'm okay.
I'm interested.
Right,
so we're rolling a D2?
D3.
It's D3,
so... Just do a classic. Roll D-hundy, and whoever gets the highest on a D-hundy gets it.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yeah,
that's how they did. That's how they've done it since the beginning of time. Unless you have a
World of Warcraft.
Unless you have it written into a charter that of how to deal with this stuff.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
Mine.
Let's see. Surge is gonna roll in too.
What? Surge can't wear a cloak.
This is my cloak now.
Surge is just deciding that whether or not he lets you consider it your cloak or his cloak.
Okay.
I was gonna roll in so that you could be better protected.
Okay. All right.
Things you should never trust.
I appreciate that, bud. Appreciate it.
Sentient weapons. Which is why they're so fun. One day I'll get
Jenna, are you okay with me grabbing the medallion, or would you like to do a roll for that as well?
Medallion's nice because it does not require attunement.
Oh, cast detect magic 3 times per day.
Because you
might hear somebody say something like "winds howling," or like that. I don't know. Something like that might happen.
I mean,
my medallion is vibrating.
Here's
must be magic nearby.
Here's my logic on the medallion. All right. So detect magic 3 times per day. Both of us can do that as a ritual.
Hmm.
So either A, we could give it to someone that can't use it,
Ooh.
or we give it to the person with the highest Arcana check. So they're gonna benefit.
I'm just looking at it. My logic is that I can only do it as a ritual. I don't have the option to use a spell slot.
I mean,
So
I can't think of any time I would cast detect magic as not a ritual.
Well, I mean, if you don't have 10
you're
minutes.
normally never hard pressed. You normally never have this spell prepared.
Well, whenever you're trying to see if there's like magical traps and stuff like that, if you're on a time crunch, but
if you're in a rage looting
situation,
you have to get as much loot as you can in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
To cast detect magic when you're rage looting.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that one of us should have it as opposed to turning it over to somebody else. It's just a matter of who.
I mean, it sounds like Jenna has no interest in it. So
yeah, so there you go, Albus.
Yeah, you can have it.
Yoink. And Albus is, of course, being Albus, going to wear it very open-vested bare chest.
You see, that's why I didn't want to give it.
If we're going to be subtle about this, you should keep that in a pocket.
Nobody knew who this elf was before. It's not like he was a regular known person in the city. No one's gonna know anything from him.
I don't think anyone in the city might know, but someone else out there in the world might. It would behoove us to be discreet.
Definitely a distinct.
I know that is asking a lot, my friend, but still, I think it would be wise.
He's gonna do that thing where he'll like set it into a pocket or something for now, but like literally within like the next morning he'll just be wearing it out front again.
All right.
Any cautious carries?
Let the boy have his fun. It'll be fine.
Alright, well.
Everything's sorted out then. I can message the guard captain, tell them about the body of the hunter.
Yeah, it would be more convenient if they came to us, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
On our ship?
Well, I mean, we can take him, like, to the dock.
We can drop him here on the gangplank. Not a lot of guards on the ship. It's like, no, you want your body of your killer, here he is.
Yeah. So, I will cast Sending. 25 words. Well, easy enough. We got the killer. He's dead. Would you like to come and collect his body?
So we're telling him the head kind of just fell in the ocean? What do we tell him about the head?
No, he smashed it with a warhammer.
Oh, okay.
He went down hard.
You receive a reply from guard specialist Nicolina. That's who you contacted, correct? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or were you going for Elliot? Yeah, that's because you're familiar with her, etc., etc. Got it.
Right, I talked to you. Sorry.
Okay. No, the person sounds a bit tired, and they say, "Wait, you were attacked on your ship?"
Oh, I can't respond.
You can. I mean, it's a cantrip. You can just spam it.
I will be down there immediately. It's like a 4th level spell.
3rd level spell.
Sending?
You cast Sending. Okay, I thought you cast Message.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Within
you're right.
Within about 30 minutes, this guard captain arrives with many guards in tow.
Before they show up, Pietro's going to go to the empty net and start.
I would tell everyone that they are coming, by the way.
Yeah.
And I would tell them to have the body ready for them on the dock and that they're not welcome on board.
Yeah. That's fine.
In that case, Pietro will help carry the body up, and then he's going to...
You can talk to them.
Okay. Who is going to be the face in this particular interaction?
I'll be there, but...
Well, I think,
I'll stand by in case some lying is needed to be done.
Okay. She arrives and she says, "I'm very sorry. I had posted 2 guards nearby, but they decided that they both needed to take a break earlier. They're going to be disciplined, obviously, for their negligence. Yeah, so I hadn't heard anything about an attack. So this is the body. It's a very tall. The head is completely mashed up.
Sun Elf. Oh yes. Warhammer.
Yeah, I could still see pieces of ear there.
Yeah.
Any idea why? I mean, did you learn anything during the attack?
Honestly, what happened is that he just bounced into the cabin. I was waiting on deck for him, and I didn't even see him. And then he attacked Willow. He realized we were ready for him, and then he ran away. He bounced right back out of the cabin. We only just barely caught him. We sadly did not have time to ask any questions.
His head was smashed as he was swimming away?
Well, we didn't want to let him get away. Our bird friend disabled him with a shot, and
shots from.
Yeah, pull out my bow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we were afraid he was going to teleport again, so we had to kill him.
Well, you certainly did that.
Yeah.
I appreciate your assistance. You can come by the Hool Tower tomorrow during the day, and your reward will be waiting for you. Suppose we will take it from here. And she kind of motions to some guards, and they sort of put like a sack over the front part that's just hamburger, and kind of tie it around the torso, and they kind of lift and start carrying him away. Do you make it? Is that a normal thing that you do?
Oh, we put clothes back on him.
Oh, you did put clothes back on him?
Like
okay.
we put we put like Bloody Bjorn's extra breeches, you know.
Yeah.
So the 6 foot tall guy's wearing dwarf pants.
Yep.
See. So same question stands. You stripped him naked? Is that a normal thing that you do?
Well, I mean, finders keepers, right? He had some pretty nice stuff.
She gives you a look, Afra, that only a police detective would give an active, dangerous criminal. Just a look of like absolute disgust for everything that you are and everything that you stand for.
She did her job.
And she,
I look affronted. Like how is that a bad thing?
She just shakes her
totally
head.
Innocent.
She's like, city cannot join the Dutchy of Daggerford soon enough. It has grown to be a savage den of thieves. For your help.
Better thieves than murderers, eh?
I feel in Saltmarsh that line has become extremely thin. Day or night. She kind of motions at the, situation.
Yeah.
Yes, Saltmarsh is definitely a more honest city than most.
All right, so they leave the docks, and you are left with what to do next. So I guess I'll take you guys back to your dashboard, maybe?
Sure.
If if we're going to see Prime Water right away, Alvis will go with. If we're not going to see Prime Water right away, Alvis will go to the empty net.
I don't think going to see him in the middle of the night is the best idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
wait till morning, I think.
You guys probably do need to get some sleep, or you would have to do the whole Constitution saving throw against exhaustion.
Yeah.
Oh, I took so much damage in that fight. I really need to rest.
Okay, so you guys are gonna get your long rest in.
Yeah.
Reset spells, reset hit points, all that jazz. Okay,
nice.
Was it a tough fight? Fight that dude?
Fuck no, it wasn't tough. We murdered him.
God,
he came in, he rolled a natural 1 on his attack roll. Nearly got disarmed.
Yeah.
Just by Willow and ran away immediately.
He showed up, tried to start a fight, was like, Every single time, as soon as I get the engines whirling, like, ready to go, like, I'm hasted up and ready to actually murder someone, they fucking surrender. I'm like, damn it. I'm not a murder homo. I promise.
You'll fit in with this group better than you think you will. All right, yeah, Alvis will turn in. Part of me really wants to get in on this Pietro spiral at the empty net, but but I think at this point, yeah, bedtime.
Yeah, Pietro. Let's handle this real quick. Over at the empty net, Kreb, who is a bit of a night owl, he's still awake when you get there, but for the most part, everything is sort of winding down. Tits McGee, she's seen that look a million times in Saltmarsh, so she's just pouring you round after round. It does approach eventually, and he says, "Hey, friend, you're in need of some smiles." Then he gives you his big smile. You know that look? It's the look of a man who's made a tough decision today. You know, every day, waking up is a tough decision. You do it every day. Think you're gonna be all right. You seem like the kind of guy who could survive a few tough decisions. Kind of gives you like a clap on the back.
Yes, but what will be left after those decisions? That is what worries me.
I tried my hand at adventuring. I found a better fit. He kind of motions at the shithole that is the empty net. There's only so much killing before someone reaches their limit. You know? Maybe that's just me. Maybe that was just my limit. But honestly, I gotta read some books, you know? That's what did it for me. Start reading books, you find out how big the world is, how big the worlds are. There's so many worlds. And you start to realize that you're absolutely and completely insignificant. At that point, the only value that anything you do has is the value that you give it. Huh? Isn't that a nice thought? guess what I'm saying is, you just got to control yourself. Set up the standards in a way that you can live with them. And then you'll be fine.
And that's what you have done here with your tavern. Set up a world that you can control.
Yeah, I think so. Just I try my best. I don't kid myself on this. Yeah, like, or the White Knight or the Black Knight, you're still going to be making them hard decisions. You're still going to be having to live with the consequences of those decisions. It's only after you realize that you control how you feel about those consequences. You got to take control of that.
Doesn't sound like you took control of how you feel, Kreb. No offense, it just sounds like you settled for a life that didn't present those complications.
Emotions to the biggest, ugliest brute in the place that you trounced, because now you have barbarian levels, so there's absolutely no reason to run any combats with you. At least one-on-one unarmed combats, unless you're fighting a monk or something. And he's like,
I don't think a monk would deign to come into this place.
5th edition monks, drunken brawler.
Wait till Garuda dies.
I know statistically it might not seem worth it, but I will just point out that there was a pit fight between a raging barbarian and a lowly rogue, and the rogue put him out.
True. So he does say, well, I'm just trying to give a sad face a little bit of a smile, but you'll sort it out.
I appreciate your
right.
Your sense of customer service. Thank you. But no, I mean, if there's a chance that I could fail a roll, let's do it.
I mean, honestly, give me an athletics check. Okay. The DC to defeat this guy is only a 10. If you were raging, you would have advantage on the athletics check.
Yeah, I'd probably be pretty angry at myself.
Okay.
Not necessarily the guy.
Sure.
I will. I'll roll with advantage.
Oh yeah.
And I think I turned his face into paste.
Yeah, you trounce the guy. All right, so you finish up your night. Do you end up just crashing there at the?
Yeah, I'm gonna fall asleep like on a table or in a corner or something, just drunk and I'm an absolute mess.
All right. Can you hop into private chat real quick?
Sure.
Shit getting spicy, huh?
No.
Yeah, that was real. That was Granddaddy Crash. Yo, just bestow us words of wisdom.
My ankle. Oh boy.
All right. I am eager to see.
I am back.
Wrap this up so that we can get to. I really want to see what that lighthouse quest is like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're nothing but efficient.
Yep.
That's the lighthouse quest. What's that?
There's a lighthouse that's like not been lit for the past past little while, and the city basically sent like a squad of guardsmen to go investigate, and no one's returned. So when we were thinking about like what to do with our quests, when we decided to go after the serial killer, it was kind of like we were like, serial killer would be a good one to get some favor with the guards, and then the lighthouse one could be potentially good, like to get goodwill from the city, because it's a port city, kind of relies on the lighthouse. But also like hopefully whatever's going on over there has, lots of treasure.
Understandable. Yeah.
I just want fun ancient stuff. There's so much fun ancient stuff around here, guys.
Right? I also just want to shoot things with lightning, so...
I got papers to write. I got a name to make.
That's right.
Alrighty. So, you guys all meet up in at the Prime Order Mansion? Was that the intention?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna have to come and fetch me, I think.
Okay.
Alvis will obviously be there when he goes to get his morning ale, so
sure.
he'll find Pietro, and having had many a night like this
on pickled eggs.
There we go. Basted pickled eggs.
Tits McGee bought a bunch of bad eggs at the market, and as a dwarf, she knows that if you pickle something, it undoes any sort of badness to the food.
Oh, God.
So they just have a huge jar. Like when you go into like a convenience store and you know that it's the wrong convenience store. And they've got like a 55-gallon glass mason jar of pickled eggs. Like it's like that. Yeah.
No.
Dear God.
She gives you just a bowl full of like vinegar broth and like these kind of greenish purplish eggs that are just sort of floating in it. She just grunts at you. She slams it down.
Yeah, I'll feed a couple to Pietro to get him back on his feet. That'll wake him up.
Pietro, it's like smelling salts. It is so foul.
Oh dear God, what is that?
As Alvis like pops one in his mouth with a grin. Breakfast.
You're actually eating that shit? Dear God. What time is it?
Time to go to the Prime Water Estate after. And he kind of, Alvis like holds up his hand with like 3 fingers up. After a round or 2 of drinks.
That sounds like a good idea. Tits, could I get some ale, please?
Yeah, she's bringing by ale. She looks exhausted though, and she shouts out, "Boy!" And you see the youngster who runs the place during the day come out. His hair mussed, his clothes barely put together properly, and he kind of trips over the broom as he comes into the room. I'm here. And she kind of shoulders him out of the way and then heads back into the employees area of the establishment.
I just picture the employees area as literally just a small closet with a cot. It's where Crash parks the tokens.
Oh. I mean, gosh, that hurts. But no, it's actually pretty nice. So, you guys get a couple of rounds in and then head to Prime Water Estate. Anyone else have any other business before they head over?
Nope.
Okay. All right. You guys meet outside. You make arrangements to go, etc., etc.
What's the weather like this day?
It is already probably 10 a.m., possibly later by the time you arrive. You arrive just in time to see Prime Water is leaving the house. Does not. He keeps going.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I thought Dave told him to stay put, but I think he was talking to his actual dogs. So,
yeah, sorry. There's somebody
super
yelping,
rude. You find out someone's a
I know.
werewolf and you start talking to him like they're your dog. I mean, that's bold role playing. Now, Prime Water steps out of his house onto the street. He looks around and sees you. He definitely looks like he is dressed for business at the business factory by his standards. So, pressed shirt, looking a lot more professional than his more casual attire. I don't know, the D&D equivalent of a briefcase, like slung over his
Could that
shoulder.
not just be a briefcase? Like,
What?
That could just be a briefcase, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Probably leather with straps.
Yeah. A briefcase-like thing, something for holding papers, essentially, keeping papers nice. But yeah, he steps out into the street and he looks around, sees you guys, and he's, I don't know, I think he kind of insights a little bit with his narrowed eyes, and he nods at you and begins to walk down the street towards you.
Yeah, Jenna will just start approaching him.
All right. So in the wide open street, Jenna the Generous approaches Gellin Prime Water. Prime Water says, "Good morning."
Good morning, sir. I think we have some news you would take interest in. Would there be a good time for us to deliberate?
I mean, I'm on my way to a council meeting.
You may want to know it before you get there.
Can we walk and talk? I'm already running a bit late.
Of course. I'll try to be discreet. Essentially, you remember a man running around town murdering?
If this is about an out-of-towner who was, how do I put this? Had his head smashed in while fleeing, I've already been made aware of the situation.
Were you aware he was cleaning up your sister's mess?
Ooh.
Spicy.
That's an awfully bold thing to say on such a beautiful, clear morning in the wide open streets.
Afra definitely
mostly in sight of.
Yeah. Like at the same time, steps on Aldous' foot and elbows him all at once.
Yeah, Jenna shoots just straight daggers at Elvis with her eyes.
That's why we don't let you out the house.
So, Prime Water's estate is number 16 on your map. And the city council hall is literally only 14. So you guys are in between, like right there in that big four-way intersection across from the market, having this conversation.
Jesus.
And he says, as people bustle and hustle by, many people just saying, Mr. Primewater, it's good to see you today, sir. And, Mr. Primewater, the money you donated to the orphanage has been blah, blah, blah. All that kind of Lex Luthor shit. Yeah, and he keeps turning to them and, smiling real big. And, then he turns back to you guys and he says, is this a blackmail attempt? I mean, is that why I need to know about it before my council meeting? Like, what's the situation exactly?
No, we're not trying to blackmail you, of course.
Okay, of course.
I just wanted you to be
You're
aware.
honorable adventuring heroes that I occasionally work with to save my town from dangers. Seems kind of pissed off.
Yeah, I'll just actually look shocked at the notion that he would suggest that it was blackmail. Like, no, he was actually trying to convey that, like.
Afra, can you hop into the secret meeting?
Nah.
I'm sorry, you chose the class, not me. So.
Magic of having really high insight, guys. It's actually really fun playing an inquisitive rogue.
It's like you just know everything that's going on under the current.
You do. I'm playing one at the moment. It's so fucking good. I've got the one I play has the observant feat and expertise and perception and insight. And it's like no one's allowed anything. I will know everything.
You're Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Someone tried to sneak into the room and it's like, you noticed them straight away. It's like, damn right I fucking do. My passive is 24. You ain't fucking going anywhere.
Holy shit.
If you, do you know the Raven Queen, like, Warlock patron?
Yeah.
Oh, if you stack all that shit up, mate, you can get, like, a passive of, like, 30 odd.
Alright, look, we won't keep you. We just wanted to make sure that you weren't surprised by anything that happened on the meeting, but we do sometimes forget how well connected you are. You'll have to forgive us for that.
No, it's my connections and your connections that when they combine, they create a beautiful protective web that keeps the city safe.
Yes.
That it
Well,
does.
I don't like spiders.
Perhaps we'll stop by later this afternoon, for I don't know, dinner or whatnot, and we can talk about whatever else might be on your mind and see if there's anything we can help with.
Sure. That sounds great. Oh, I'll be off then. I will see you later today.
Good day, sir.
Okay, then bye.
Yep. Oh, you guys have the day, I guess.
I think that was
Well, we should definitely go collect our rewards from the guard, however pitiful it may be.
I mean, money's money.
I mean, as soon as, like, Prime Water sets off, I'm sure someone will stop him, but Albus will just kind of nod and turn as if to walk directly to the Prime Water estate. Unless someone stops him to point out that maybe we should go do something else.
Yeah, no, I'll grab him.
Okay, steer him
Attach a
away.
leash
Got it.
to him.
I thought we were meeting Mr. Prime Water in the afternoon.
Yeah, we are.
Elvis, should I have you lashed for your stupidity? Like, what?
I'll add the council hall to your journal. There you go.
Albus looks at Jenna and just shrugs. He goes, I speak plainly.
I mean, you don't... She kind of, like, pulls him really close for this. You don't...
He immediately moves so that he's staring at your bosom instead of your eyes, because the last time he looked in your eyes, you charmed him.
Okay, well...
Truth, yeah.
You get one of these. Yeah.
Oh. His eyes are almost at motorboat level. So, yeah, you're just having trouble connecting anywhere. You just sort of hit his arm, and it feels more like a playful, hey, those are my tatas, and less of a bitch slap.
Then I'll revert to magic. This whole person on him.
All right, saving throw. Or counterspell. I don't know where you're at. I would have invested in counterspell in this group a long time ago.
Wisdom.
Understandable.
Okay, so you are sort of affixed in place, staring at bosoms.
Well, Jenna's gonna, like, grab his head and, like, yank it up to where it's looking in her eyes. Like, you just need to not open your fucking mouth. Okay? And then she's gonna bitch slap him at advantage because he's paralyzed.
Hey, you're a double service, dude. Yeah, you're a double service.
All right. Unless anybody else does anything, a minute would pass, but you get saving throws to resist. Either way, I think the scene sort of plays out, and you get the message from your companions that it is not okay time to go visit the Prime Order Mansion. I think would be the overall message from that one. Do you guys swing by Hull Watch Tower to get your 1,000 dragons for assisting? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You head on over to Who'll
Well,
Watch Tower.
Jenna's not gonna go inside. She's just gonna wait.
Okay.
A safe distance away.
Albus goes inside.
Okay.
I go inside.
As you guys go inside, you do encounter the captain of the guards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Eleander is inside, and he sees you guys enter. And I believe it's Alvis and Willow and anyone else entering?
Afra.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
I went in there as well.
All right. So it's just everybody except Jenna.
I'll start outside with Jenna. She can't be alone. Use some protection.
Gotcha. So as you enter, he kind of looks up from some paperwork and eyes you all appraisingly, and he says, "Oh, gets murdered, and you're involved." He looks at Afra.
No, I'm gonna
Out of town man gets murdered, and you're involved.
I'm
That's
gonna
quite a coincidence.
Pop
It was
up
not
on his
murder.
desk.
It was for the good of the town.
Yeah,
Self-defense, if you will.
It was a big coincidence. Anyway, we solved your problem. We heard there's some money involved. We're trying to turn over.
Fortunately, your actions were endorsed by guard specialist Nicolina, so your actions will not be charged as vigilante justice, and you will not be in violation of any of our local laws.
Yeah, we're trying to turn over a new leaf. Do this legal thing. It's fun.
A new leaf.
Oh my god.
My dear, I was under the impression that you never needed to turn over a leaf because you were an innocent victim.
Yes, absolutely.
No, she means me, Captain.
Is your name New Leaf? Is that a orc thing?
That sort of is racist. But we are here on the matter of money.
Right. 1,000 gold for the apprehension of this serial killer, to be paid out in platinum pieces. He puts a hefty sack of 100 platinum pieces on the table between you.
I'll pick it up, and I will say thank you, blow him a kiss, and head out the door.
Well, that was easy.
All right. He continues to watch all of you. And he says, well, now that the second serial killer in 1 month has been taken care of, I'm sure incidents of murder and attacks will significantly drop in the city.
What can you tell us of the mystery of the lighthouse? Is it true that guards were sent and have not returned?
His face kind of gets a bit more, I don't want to say guarded, but even more cautious. And he says, yeah, that was not part of the posting. I'm not sure how you came about that information, but yes.
People talk when they're in their cups.
When they're in their cups. Some might even say when they're in their goblets.
That totally goes over Alvis' head because he doesn't know this goblet guy.
Yeah,
so
sure.
He just continues, and Alvis is like, well, you see, we have a ship, the Generous, the Stormchaser, Jenna the Generous, Captain, you may have met her, I don't know. Anyways, not having a functioning lighthouse would seem dangerous for ships. Has anyone yet managed to figure out what's going on?
Oh, that's why there's still a posting for it.
Is there anything that you can tell us that might help us if we were to decide to try and aid the city of Saltmarsh and do a service for the city by solving this mystery.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we are looking for information about why the lighthouse is no longer operational. We're now looking for information about why the guards we sent have not returned. So, of course, now we're having to rely on outside contractors, aka adventurers, to handle the messy business of this. Because, truthfully, while the lighthouse is important for trade, it is technically not our jurisdiction, and the city council does not want additional resources spent on it. That being said, I have been authorized to pay a small sum of money for anyone willing to investigate it. And like all of these things, anything crazy, eldritch, magic, etc. that you encounter is, of course, yours for the taking, such as the mercenary adventuring life. But, yeah, I can only offer you essentially 500 gold up front, but if you can bring back news of what has happened, there could be significantly more money based on the quality of the information and the results that are garnered. That sort of thing will, of course, have to go by the city council before we can sort of settle on a final reward.
Indeed. Can you tell us anything about the who runs the lighthouse or ran it before these incidents occurred, and whether or not there were any previous incidents at the lighthouse that can shed light on the nature of the disturbance this time around?
And seeing that nobody immediately followed her outside, Afra would pop back in and be like, "Hey guys, what's going on? Ooh, lighthouse. Right. Is there any like ancient ruins over there?"
Oh, ruins. I do know that I had a group of guards go. They took the ship known as Volker's Venture. The ship has not returned either, which means that the entire crew, the captain, and the guards have either all decided to fuck off to warmer climates or better opportunities, or something really bad happened to them.
How many guards?
I sent a contingent of 8 guards.
Okay, and do you know who was running the lighthouse?
Yes.
To everyone else, by the way, this is like the most focused you've ever seen Elvis, probably. Like he's actually like lucid and communicating with somebody without.
And there were 3 sisters who ran the lighthouse: Aaliyah, Thinka, and Marcella.
And they resided there alone? They were not troubled by bandits or pirates?
They were like druidesses. They sort of had magic and animals and nature to protect them. They, I don't know if they were all sisters by birth, but they considered themselves sisters or some kind of sisterhood. They weren't too keen on men. And so when the opportunity arose for new, what's the word I'm looking for? Lighthouse keepers, the 3 of them jumped at the opportunity, despite the dangers inherent in such a position.
Well, and at this, like, Alvis is like gonna kind of look to Afra here as he says, "It is my understanding that the crew of the Stormchaser under Captain Jenna have decided that we would be looking into this matter." And then he'll just kind of hold out his hand, like, for the 500 gold he said he'd pay up front.
Okay, I will pass this gold to you, but this is essentially a legally binding contract. If you don't investigate this and get me results within the 10-day, I am going to pursue a return of these coins.
Alvis, like, absolutely nods and actually extends a hand out to shake his hand, like sword coat
It
style.
is a deal, my friends. And he does the wrist grab handshake of the Forgotten Realms, thus binding you in a legal agreement.
Awesome.
Because there are officers nearby witnessing it. All right?
Yeah. So as soon as they're done, Alvis turns and walks straight out and literally just tosses a pouch of 500 gold to Jenna.
Before we leave, I turn to the captain and ask, could there be any more information gleaned from any other sources, the Mariners Guild, or perhaps the court?
Yeah, that would be very smart to check with the Mariners Guild.
Would there be any other places we should inquire, perhaps down at the docks or anywhere else for additional information, Captain?
I think the Mariners Guild is probably a good start. I mean, I'll be honest, the lighthouse does have a bit of a history. It's been hard to keep lighthouse keepers there, apparently, over the years. Different families or mercenary companies will try their hand at it. You have to understand that a lighthouse is a beacon, both literally and also figuratively. It is the civilization of man boldly declaring its presence to the denizens of the wilds and of the sea. It's dangerous work. It's not just hanging out and lighting a lamp. Lighthouses in the realms must be defended constantly against attacks. So, yeah, there's been murders. There's been monster massacres. There's been missing people. This is not the first time something bad has happened to the lighthouse.
What other bad things that have happened that perhaps stand out in your mind?
Well, I don't want to scare you off the job, but
do I look like a half-orc that can be scared easily?
Oh, you work with those two women, so I'm going to say no. All right. So we had there was a family that lived there, a larger family. They to these sisters, lighthouse stopped being lit. People stopped by to figure out what was going on. Place was completely deserted. Food still set on the table for dinner. That whole super creepy situation. Before that, there was a pair of adventurers. They decided to retire. They thought running a lighthouse might be fun. Light went out, stopped working, went by to check. Yeah, they had halfway eaten each other. Not even sure how that one happened. They sort of choked to death on each other.
Like a snake eating its own tail sort of situation, or they had gotten into a frenzied fight and were tearing chunks out of one another's flesh?
A little bit like a snake with the tail as a result of a frenzied fight. This was all before my time, though. I've been actually looking up reports. They're very poor. I have a feeling the local Thieves Guild is tampering with all of the records that the guards have been keeping. I have a feeling that the Thieves Guild might actually run this down.
Well, I will let you get back to your guard duties. Thank you for the information.
Mm-hmm.
and I hurry to catch up with the rest of the crew.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say to everyone that the stories that I heard from the captain, and comment that I think that we are dealing with dark forces over there. Perhaps there is something below the surface that is cursing this place, causing people to go mad and disappear.
Right.
But what do I know? I am not a magic user.
Something to look into.
Do you want me to add it to the map where the lighthouse is located?
Please.
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe we should just go check it out, see what is there, stuff like that.
I'm okay with anything. I like lighthouses.
Before we go, I'd like to sell my hand crossbow and see if there's anything. Would the Oh wait, no, it hasn't been that long. Or has it? Would the merchandise have changed at all?
No, it has not rolled over yet.
Have they completed our order of?
Well, it was 5 days to get the goggles, wasn't it?
Not
It's
even.
only been like.
Not even close. Yeah. Oh, I guess it's close, depending on how you view time. You guys are in the midday of the 14th. The goggles will not be coming in until at least the 16th.
I've prepared the sunlight spell in case we need it. So daylight, daylight. Fuck's sake.
So I guess the question is, do we want to go and investigate now?
Did you prepare that spell for the lighthouse mission, or did you prepare it for Lady Primewater?
Thanks for giving me the idea for Lady Primewater, actually. That's a good fucking idea. It was for the lighthouse. Me just about to fucking kill this bit. Because it actually, it's classed as... Is daylight actually the same as natural? Or does it at least imitate it? I don't actually know.
It would say in the description.
Yeah, it's yours. I think so. I think that's the one that...
Because I swear there's also...
Well, before we go...
Are you thinking about Sunbeam?
Maybe? I don't know. Let's see.
I think you're thinking about Sunbeam.
Probably.
So Sunbeam actually creates sunlight. A brilliant beam of light flashes from your hand. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Undead and oozes disadvantaged for duration. Brilliant light. It sheds bright. The light. Here you go. At the very last sentence, this light is sunlight.
Yeah.
So unless the spell has that tag, it is not technically sunlight.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Does everyone relay to Jenna?
And anybody that's like, but moonlight is sunlight reflected off the moon. Not in fantasy magic land. So.
Not allowed.
The moon radiates its own light because magic.
Yeah. I think it'd be best for us to at least scout out the lighthouse, see what's around there, and I mean, if a bunch of people just disappeared over there, I'm willing to bet that, like, I don't know, maybe some cult shit's going on over there. I don't know, like a bandits cult. I don't know, just a group of people or monsters.
Yeah, it's about 300 miles from Saltmarsh to the lighthouse.
Oh,
just to give you guys an idea of the distance.
I need to know what you guys relay to Jenna, because that'll affect her.
Oh, right.
Decision.
I mean, Alvis will say what he actually said to Eleander and what was said to him about that. Like, he won't hold anything back.
And Pietro would have shared all the stories that he heard. And
it's like you were there with us.
Go to the Mariners Guild and see if there's any additional information to be had.
Yes, that is a good idea. So I wouldn't, I'd be careful taking deals from Eleander. Pretty much, bound us into giving him some information, which may not be the information we want to give him. So, I don't appreciate that.
So, Mariners Guild. There you go. Yeah, it's a pretty fancy Mariners Guild, as these things go.
It looks like it's wearing a hat.
Well, it is adorable. And it's quite large for the size of the city, but essentially, Saltmarsh is, if anything, kind of the only port city between Baldur's Gate and Waterdeep. So its potential is quite high. So you could definitely see why people are investing heavily in the Mariners Guild, in the sea trade, and why Daggerford would be so interested in the acquisition of Saltmarsh, because it could, location-wise, it could blow up into a very large city. It has the potential for that. So you can kind of see that is evident in how well funded their Mariners Guild is. As you approach the Mariners Guild, you just gonna ask around about this lighthouse.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So as you ask around about the Villadel Lighthouse, a lot of people sort of do like the Forgotten Realms equivalent of like crossing themselves when you ask about it. And you're starting to get like a very like ghost story situation. Like very, very spooktacular vibes coming off of this one. Yeah, so as you kind of ask around, people would just kind of shake their head like superstitiously, like they don't want to talk about it, that kind of thing. This would be best handled with an investigation and a persuasion. Or if you want to take a cop on the edge approach, you could do intimidation.
No, I can persuade. Oh, Alvis already persuaded.
Okay, so Alvis,
I'll investigate.
Yeah, your off-kilter mannerisms kind of put people a bit off their guard, and maybe even at ease, ? And they do end up kind of spilling a little bit of tea about the place. You get similar stories to what you heard before. There is talk of a priestess who decided that she was going to start an orphanage at the lighthouse and basically collect all the wayward children from the coastal communities and island communities that did not have homes and raise them there on the island. That didn't go well. So it went very Lord of the Flies when the children rose up against her, killed her, took over the island, and became savage cannibals.
So Lord of the Flies.
Yes, eventually, when they arrived to check on the lighthouse, there was one little boy left who was completely feral, but still going through the motions of lighting the lighthouse each night. He was adorned in the bones and skins of the other children and matron who ran the island. He was the only person living there at that time. Yeah. There's also rumors that a few of the people who have tried to keep the lighthouse had left behind ominous journals where they talked about whispers from the deep that would call to them. And eventually, I guess they answered those calls.
Intriguing.
Now, there has been talk of automating the lighthouse, but they cannot get anyone to raise the funds necessary to go and have the lighthouse automated. By that, they mean, set up like golems, basically, to, go through the process of lighting and unlighting, checking the fuel, that kind of stuff. But that way, there wouldn't be any people on the island to deal with whatever's happening there. They have looked into having like priests go and try to consecrate the island, but for the most part, most people are like, why not just build a different lighthouse somewhere else? According to the Mariners Guild, because of the way the currents work in that part of the Sea of Swords, it is a very useful location for a lighthouse. And when the light is not working, there is a definite increase in shipwrecks or near shipwrecks. The absence of the light at night does seem to encourage denizens of the deep to become more active. So that is why they continue to support the lighthouse, even though it is a hot mess.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Unless Jenna discovers something additional with her information, I guess we
I was
would...
kind of just doing like, you got them off their guard, and then Jenna injected some poignantly intelligent questions to get the information. So it was sort of a tag team of you sort of almost teasing the fear away from the people long enough for them to talk about it.
Beauty.
Interesting. All right.
Should we follow up on the suggestion that Thieves Guild is covering something up, or do we not want to deal with the goblin anymore for the time being?
I feel like if it's something to do with the Thieves Guild, we won't really get very far.
I feel like should just finish our meeting with Mr. Primewater this afternoon, and then
That's actually a good point.
go investigate this thing.
Yeah.
Your ship is very fast if you maintain a good speed night and day. It would still take you 43 hours to reach the lighthouse. So that's, like 2 days of sea travel.
Also,
there are
another
islands in that area, island communities of Mintarn and Shadowrack, if you wanted to, I don't know, dip your toes into other communities besides Saltmarsh.
Maybe.
and possibly. I also don't think it would be a bad idea to wait until our order with for the goggles of night have come in.
And again, there's no shame in downtime, guys. No shame in just burning out the clock. You are not saving the world from some deadly peril.
No, but we were given a 10-day window to bring back information.
That is true. Or he would pursue the return of his coin. That's all. It's not like you're bound by like the oath of the gods or anything crazy like that. He just simply said, like, if I'm not hearing about results within 10 days, I'm going to come back after my coin.
Yeah, I mean, we wait.
Because obviously anybody could just walk in and be like, I'll check out the lighthouse, take the 500 gold and leave.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Well, in that case, I think before we head out, we should leave word and say, hey, we needed to gather some supplies.
You get word on the street. The Stormchaser's getting ready to sail. Blah, 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 blah. Make sure that they kind of know that it's happening. Progress is being made. So,
how much time? How much time? Oh my god!
How much downtime?
How much downtime do we have? Yes. Thank you.
If you're waiting for the things to come in, you'll have 2 days of downtime. Not counting. Well, I guess counting the rest of today. Like you'd have two days of downtime.
Right.
That could be simple stuff like you add to wherever you're recording the stuff on your character sheet, like spent 2 days trying to learn giant, spent 2 days working on such and such tool proficiency. Like that stuff sounds kind of lame, but eventually with enough downtime you do learn new skills, new languages. Like it's better than just being like, my character does nothing with their downtime. It's the equivalent of like, if you don't know what to do in combat, take the dodge action. Like if you don't know what to do with your downtime, just learn a language or a tool skill. Like, because eventually you might actually learn it.
Here's a question. Pit fighting.
Yeah. You could definitely do some pit fighting. I believe there are tables for that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now because I was like, I'm gonna have a look at the Xanathar's guide, downtime activities. Try and make some money.
Yeah, that's fun.
It requires you to make an acrobatics check or athletics. Free check, strength, acrobatics, and a special constitution check with a bonus equal to the roll such hit dice.
I also have a downtime table if you want RNGesus to be in charge of your downtime, which is pretty exciting. Or if you just want to get totally shit-faced, there is a carousal table to find out what happens when you got totally shit-faced.
Like accidentally getting married.
Yeah, that's on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it happen to someone.
Do we have a meeting with Prime Water that we need to go to?
I think you did say you can meet with them in the afternoon after the council meetings were out.
Yeah.
So,
do we want to get that resolved first before we figure out downtime stuff? Because that might
sure. Okay. So the clock kind of, and you guys meet up with Prime Water as he's getting out of his meeting.
I'm gonna sell my basic hand crossbow in that intervening time.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the market. The market's right there, anyways. So
I got the +1 job. I'll get rid of basically.
Right. So, am I assuming that you guys kind of just chilled in that general area of town, and when you saw that the meeting was over, you were like, "Let's talk about it," or did you play it cool and like, show up at his house later that night, like, "Oh, we almost forgot to come by and see you," or was it kind of
play it cool?
Yeah, I think Jenna would insist on playing it cool.
Okay. So you arrive, we'll say, after sunset?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Whatever's best for Mrs. Primewater.
Sweet. So you guys arrive after sunsets. We've done this enough times. Jessica Fletcher's there. She lets you in. Blah, blah, blah. He meets with you alone in his sitting room. And he definitely looks upset, for sure. You guys have been around him enough that you're starting to be able to sort of see through some of the politician facade. And he just sort of looks kind of angry. So, and he kind of puts his hands to his temple, pours himself a drink, and then sits down in his big cozy chair. He looks at all of you and he says, please help yourself to whatever. And he sort of just motions at like the mini bar sort of thing.
Are there mushrooms?
Yes, there are.
We'll go have some.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
So you're getting high again.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a comfortable feeling. Like you're semi-detached from your physical form, but not in a dangerous way. And you're not having like scary acid trip hallucinations. You're just having like the pleasant ones where it's like extra colors. Like somebody turns the saturation knob up on like the world, that kind of thing. There's a lot of light blooms. You're like in a Fable game right now, like graphically. Yeah, so
I can deal with this.
Your health is low.
Try to get your combat modifier even higher. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Die.
Yeah. So he says, "All right. Let me know how it went, or what you need to tell me, or I don't know, whatever this is that we're doing right now."
How are things in the town of Saltmarsh?
Oh,
you look a little
yeah.
disgruntled.
Gosh, man, because I'm upset and I went to a council meeting. Yeah, well, they're pretty bad, Afra. They're pretty bad. The Duchess, you may have heard, she had a party. The Duchess of Daggerford. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was at that party that she basically said that one of her top nobles had been assassinated by someone from Saltmarsh. It was a whole fiasco. And yeah, remember that guy? Well, that creature, that dragonborn that you saved when you saved this one, and he points at Pietro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You mean Loris?
He's
Blacktown.
Yeah. Apparently, his father was murdered, and that was why he was coming to Saltmarsh, was to investigate who killed his father. So, and apparently, while he was here, he found evidence or something of foul play, guard cover-ups, that kind of thing. It's a whole mess. There's implications that Saltmarsh might handle their business off the books a lot. Which, honestly, how is it off the books if you're a sovereign nation, right? Like, you write the books. You can't be off the books that you write. That doesn't make any sense. But apparently, there were a lot of wealthy people there. People even wealthier than I am that were leveraging that big reveal, which I don't even think is true, if I'm being honest. There's something wrong with the Duchess of Daggerford. I haven't been able to figure it out. And he has sort of like a very distracted look in his face. And Afra, as an inquisitive rogue, you recognize that look. It's a look of having way too many browser tabs open.
Yeah.
In your brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Anyways, look, I'm not going to insult your intelligence, okay? So, yeah, you caught the killer. Yeah, my beautiful wife, the moon of my world. She's with you. This angel guy, as she keeps calling him, he's got her in a mood. And I'm sure during your ladies' sleepover party, she just put all my fucking business out there. And he just kind of bares his teeth a little bit when he says that. And I have to hope that the partnership that we've started to form over these last few 10 days and the great deed that was done for me by you inadvertently, that sort of got my interest up in the first place, and Ida's interest in you, which sort of gave me just a sliver of hope that there was something redeemable about you. I hope that all those gut feelings that I have are wrong. I hope that my heritage act our continued business relationship.
Business is all we care about.
Because you do know that thanks to the civil rights efforts of Dritz Duerden, even a fucking werewolf can find a way to make it work.
Oh yeah, we're not bothered about that. We're basically just here.
Werewolf? I see no werewolf.
He smiles at you indulgently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like the town might have a problem.
The town has a lot of problems.
Well, yeah. But not with you. But with perhaps your sister. And that is something that you have.
No. You just bear with me. Bear with me. There's technically no cure for what's wrong with her.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Right.
Nonetheless.
Oh, I've made arrangements to have her sent to Chult. No longer be Saltmarsh's issue. It took me a while to get things arranged. I was hoping to employ you to sort of speed things up, Afra. You seem like a woman who can get things done. But I have been struggling through it on my own while also trying to keep Saltmarsh from the well-manicured claws of the Duchess of Daggerford. I understand, she's a liability. But she's family. And I don't... she's all I have left. And I don't want... Look, Chult's full of horrors, and it's a wild place. It's a good place for her to go. Just gonna set her loose on the continent. It'll be their problem. There's lots of, like, were-tigers there, all sorts of crazy dinosaurs and shit. I figure, you know, she's too savage. I get it. She's never been able to balance her nature. And what better place, right, than Chult?
Sounds appropriate.
So she's going to be heading out.
Alvis is like nodding this whole time.
I would ask you to take her, but I feel that would be a waste of your talents, spending weeks at sea. Yeah. I might just see if Keladek could teleport her, but I don't want to be any deeper into that man's pockets, favorite-wise.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, it sounds like you have things handled on that front. Really, our only other concern is that the reward from the guards was just pitiful. I mean, it was an insult. So.
Well, you could have been spending your time working for me, like I had offered, and then, you know.
Alvis points out. At this point, Alvis points out. Well, it was Kreb that told us that our pursuit of the hunter and disposing of him quickly and quietly was an aim that you
and the mashed
financially invested in.
Yes, the mashed potatoes head was definitely a excellent move. Was that you, Pietro?
It was.
Well done. It's a pretty amateur move to forget about Speak with Dead. So that's how I know that you are professionals. Yeah, I'll double what the guards gave you. I'll give you another 1,000 for your excellent work and your thorough work. And I will continue to consider you as my go-to problem solvers.
Yes, trust us, your heritage is none of our concern. Our only concern is what profits us both.
As well as this lovely town. So
if it helps, you might know that I have no children, nor do I intend to have any. So I personally will not be passing on this cursed bloodline.
I do have
any further.
questions that was just aching at my brain a little bit. Mr. Wolf, Prime Water Man Wolf. Yeah. Anyway, how did your sister get captured in the first place?
She was working her way through Kalisham, and eventually, an order of lichen hunters were called in by the Puka of one of the city-states or whatever, and they almost had her, but she was too crafty. She got arrested for a less heinous crime, and was then transported north to Waterdeep. It took quite a bit of money to keep her from ending up in the prisoner fighting pits of Kalisham, and even more money. Yeah. Anyways, the important thing is that she is safe and not kept in some Puka's menagerie.
Okay, that answers that question.
All right. Well, this has been very instructive. We were thinking about heading out to this lighthouse place.
Oh, his eyebrows kind of rise at that one.
Yeah.
That's that place.
I was curious to know what your interest, if any,
in that lighthouse. I have zero interest in that place. A wife sometimes has nightmares about that place. It scares her tremendously.
What sort of nightmares?
Apparently there's like a lot of ghosts, eldritch horrors, some sort of corrupting influence. If I had to piece it together, I'd say that there's probably more of those ruins, probably beneath the lighthouse.
Yep.
The ones that were giving your lizard folk friends the trouble.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going. This is so much fun, you guys. I'm so excited.
This is Afra's crack right here.
Oh yeah.
This is her bowl of mushrooms, Garuda.
I don't like ghosts.
Oh boy.
Yeah, how old can bird folk get? Because you could probably get aged to dust.
30 years?
Oh yeah. Garuda. I'm not a real big hugger, but I'd hug you because I'm probably never going to see you again.
No, you don't need to touch me. That's fine. I'm good over here.
All right.
No need to
Willow,
touch.
do you know Death Ward? Because you might want to know Death Ward.
Well, unfortunately for you, I am not level 7, so I do not know Death Ward.
Sorry, Garuda.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you might want to.
Why does everyone think I'm going to die? Oh, Albus the one who touched stuff.
Yeah, on some scrolls.
Oh, that's a good point. Or we can go grind like another 3,000 experience and.
Here's the thing: this lighthouse situation. If you could actually guarantee the cleansing of this island, it would be a valuable asset.
Yeah.
Well, you do have an interest.
Well, I don't have an interest in it. Like, I want to go there, but I definitely understand. I understand real estate.
I mean, just
he gives you the same spiel about like currents and blah blah blah, and perfect placement and reefs, and like his sailor background starts showing like hardcore, where he's like explaining why it's such an important place for a lighthouse.
Yeah.
It's a sexy conversation. Anyone who's not into lighthouses, you're like, look at this fucking nerd.
Goddamn nerd.
I mean, Alvis is just stoked that there's an opportunity for profit from Prime Water as well as Eleander.
You know what? I might be willing to put down a little nest egg, money, and you guys could turn it into your base of operations.
I think that would be an excellent idea.
Yeah, I would not mind having some talented and powerful eyes and ears further out into the Sword Sea. Oh my. We could get a set of Bluetooth, share information back and forth. Oh man. Yeah, this could be a very profitable opportunity.
I mean, we have Captain Jenna, but Admiral Prime Water sounds
I'm not going to put down any money if it means that you guys are going to go crazy and eat each other. Which I'll be honest, assuming Garuda doesn't get turned to dust, he's going to be the first one to eat. Have you smelled that guy? Like a hint of rosemary, herbs and spices, just amazing. And his stomach kind of growls a little bit as he says that.
Yeah, we're not going to eat Garuda. Garuda is off the table.
You say that, but I don't know if you heard the story about the husband and wife adventurers that retired there, and they found the bodies, and they were like eating each other. They were like mid-sex cannibalism.
Oh.
Ew.
Okay.
Now we are familiar with that story.
I don't even know what's going on anymore. But I am not having a good time.
Autopsy said that they each had roughly 20 or more pounds of each other's flesh in their stomachs. I mean, I've had a lot of flesh in my stomach before, but like, for regular people doing that, that's nasty.
Oh, so we're just open about this now?
No, I was just, anyways. It's steak nights at the Empty Net. What are you talking about? I mean, sometimes Tits McGee will buy the bad meat from the market, and she just pickles it, and then, it's good. Does vinegar, cleans everything. She also applied for a job as a cook at my house, and we lost the application. So
lost, quote unquote.
It was a terrible fire. So. Anyways, yeah, if that's your intention, I guess that is my interest. You have piqued them. You've piqued my interest.
All right.
But I'll be honest. I don't think I'm going to see all of you again.
Are you planning on going on a trip, sir?
Perhaps I won't see you in the same way that I see you now. Might be a better way to put it.
And risks be taken.
If you'd like, I can ask the missus to do a seeing and see what the future holds for you there.
Absolutely.
Or perhaps you'd like Timora to be in charge and just let fate play out like the roll of dice.
I would be happy to have your wife's information on this. She has devilish foresight.
Close. How about I just put this out here? Lighthouses are cool and all. Do you feel that you've grown up enough that you could maybe kill somebody without making a huge fucking scene? I mean, you did last night pretty well. But let's say, hypothetically, that remove the Duchess of Daggerford. the equation. Does that seem like something that you would know anyone, hypothetically, who would be capable of something like that?
Alvis just slowly raises his hand.
I mean, a lot would depend on the particulars. But we could probably find somebody.
Here's some particulars for you. If you can find someone who could permanently remove her, and I mean permanently remove her. I don't want any raised deads, resurrections. I don't want her to be brought back into the equation ever again. Be worth 50,000 gold easily.
After whistles.
Alvis, you're gonna have to go return that 500 gold to the guard captain. The lighthouse no longer piques my interest. I think we could manage.
Well, no, but we can do the lighthouse too. Not a big deal. We need a base of operations.
There's still time. There's still time, and a strike against the Duchess so soon after her big political move would seem.
It would be ill-timed.
It would seem reaction. It would seem reactionary. Is all I'm saying. But I like a farmer. Like to plant seeds and see what grows. So consider this a seed planted in the generous garden.
Understandable. We will see.
All right.
Prime Water wasn't going to have kids. Now he's planting seeds in his garden.
Alvis, what did I tell you about just being you when we're here?
That was OOC. that was an observance of the turn of phrase.
You guys will receive her, I don't want to call it a prophecy, her vision, I guess, over the premonition, there you go, over the next 2 days of downtime. And then we can handle downtime via Discord. So if you are interested, there are rules in Xanathars about that sort of thing. I can link them. And then there are also, if you want to go full RNGesus, I have old school tables for downtime before pre-Xanathars. If you would like to really go RNGesus on it. Or if you don't want to do any of those things, you can just be like, I'm super boring and I spend all my time studying how to use tools. And then I'm like, cool, write down 1 day, 2 days of progress on tools. And then that would be, So if you don't want any RNGesus in your life, and God, I understand that feeling, then you can just say, no, this is what I do with my downtime.
I mean, against my better judgment and my experiences, I will 100% do the RNGesus downtime and see what fate has in store for Elvis.
Hype. Okay. Then, then we will handle that via chat this week as we go. It's essentially D-Hundy rolls. Keep in mind, we can roll dice in Discord because we have a little bot in the background that handles that. I think it's like !R1D100 or something.
Is it Avray that you're using a lot?
Avray does it, but I can't remember her commands because I haven't had to do it in a while. I'll have to look it up. So,
should say it's just exclamation mark.
Okay.
Here, we'll do a
exclamation mark D100 kind of thing. Yeah.
One sec. Okay, so the problem is they're sharing commands with Rhythm.
Oh, and Rhythm's the boss because it's like
one sec. I can change it. Let me look. Or honestly, I mean, you could at this point just kick Rhythm from the server because you're using Groovy, right?
Yeah. Groovy's way better than Rhythm. All right, let me find Rhythm and kick him out. Kick Rhythm. You stink. That's what I'm going to put as his reason for being kicked. All right. All right, maybe now it'll work.
I don't think.
I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Look.
I might have to like re-invite it. I don't know.
Roll. It's bang roll. Let's try bang roll 100. Like that.
Okay, there we go. Cool. Yeah, so you can do that during the week, and then I'll check the tables and all that goodness.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. If that is the case, I don't mean to end like directly on time like a businessman or anything, but I do have to like drive all the way back to my house today. So, does anybody have anything else they need before we adjourn?
No, just a clarification question real quick. When
Sure.
like working towards proficiency with them, or because I already have some proficiency with tools that I guess I would maybe want to practice with. I don't know.
Oh no. So in D&D 5th edition, you can learn new languages and new tools. So anything that would be like water vehicles, land vehicles, thieves tools, gem cutting tools, stuff like that. You can learn them by investing time into it during downtime.
Got it. Okay.
And it used to be really bad before Xanthars. It was like, 188 days straight or something crazy like that, or 3 years, or it was something stupid that would never happen. Now it's a little bit easier to meet those times, but it does require you to kind of just record somewhere on your character sheet how much time you've put, and then you sort of like know it, basically. And you can always like kind of finagle it. You're like, well, I've been studying Giant for 4 weeks now. Like, would I know anything that the Giant's saying? And it's like, oh yeah, okay, roll an intelligence check kind of thing. And you kind of have like partial language kind of thing. Having the skill all the way implies like a mastery of it. You know what I'm saying? Like a fluency to the tools. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So like I couldn't improve.
Like if you're at the halfway, if you already have it, you don't need to sink any downtime into it. But if you're trying to learn new tools, right? Maybe even if you get to the halfway point, you could be like, hey, I'm like halfway to mastering thieves tools. Could I attempt to pick this lock? And I would be like, sure, it's going to be a disadvantage.
Got it.
That sort of thing.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. But if you're putting that kind of thought into your character of like learning new stuff during your downtime, like, yeah, definitely record it, and we work around it, sort of thing.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying like this year, one of my DM goals is to try and incorporate more downtime, because while I really enjoy 5th edition, I feel like it moves too fast. Oh yeah, like in Skull and Shackles, like the whole group agreed to like increase the entire world in size because they were sailing everywhere so fast that they never really got to like sail around in the pirate ship. So they were just we just like scaled the entire world out by a lot. So now instead of it taking like 1 day to get somewhere, it takes like 3 or 4 days to get somewhere, because they actually wanted that experience of like sailing around and things taking longer and all that jazz. So I'm trying very hard to kind of add more downtime to my games.
Cool.
All right. Cool beans. And then you guys, you can also think of what you want to do to prepare for your trip to this Eldritch lighthouse.
Hey. It's gonna be a good time.
Sounds good.
All right. Cool beans. Oh, and also, if you have any kind of terrible triggers related to like horror stuff, like please private message me, DM me or whatever, and I will make sure not to include that stuff in the adventure, because the adventure is a scary adventure, and I don't want to like cross any lines with people. So
Spooky,
don't be embarrassed. So
You got any like
if you
homework
have something
we should watch, like you did for the last scary adventure that took all of 35 minutes?
So just, make sure that if you have something like that, you let me know about it. So.
We are bucking
All right.
pretty close to our next level, so is it possible to make sure that we also have a proper XP calculation just so that we're sure we didn't?
I think I just recently posted up to session 29. So you guys are at 2,200 or 20,200. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, after today.
Oh yeah. I don't think we hit 3.
Okay.
I mean, normally, like at your level, like a good session of like role play and exploration or role play and investigation, like today, you're looking at probably another 1,500 XP.
Okay.
So almost there, guys. Almost.
Did we get anything for
just
taking the...
just playing the game, mostly safely role playing and stuff like that? Because you guys should know by now that even role playing is not safe. You are still putting yourself out there. You're using your skills. You're risking stuff. But it's not as swingy as like combat. So that's generally why combat will often award a bit more XP because of that. But you did also have a quest turn in because you did turn in the guy. But again, I think you're trying to get to 2,400?
23. Exactly.
23.
So we're close-ish. It's just where I'm just like just so we're sure.
I mean, if you guys want to take an advance on your level, like that's fine, but you'll still have to earn up the same number of XP to get to the next level. I'm totally okay with you guys leveling up before this adventure because it's going to be a doozy.
I like that idea.
I would take that. I mean, that sounds like a good deal.
All right.
I think we might need it, but then again, he's going to just scale it up to match.
Whatever the amount is, the published adventure, it says levels 5 to 10. So 7 seems like a pretty good spot to be for a 5 to 10 adventure. So, which is, Jesus, how do you write an adventure 5 to 10? What a
that
gap.
is a crazy.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy. Like what?
Well, really,
you scale the
really good adventure writers.
Monsters.
Really good adventure writers will include in every encounter. They'll say scale up and scale down notes for every encounter. So they'll say, oh, if the party is like this, do this, or if the party's having, is bored, do this. Like, so if you guys ever decide to write an adventure, like that's definitely a cool thing to put in there is being able to scale the adventure up and down, because that is the number one question I think that I get asked by other DMs, especially new DMs, is how do I scale my adventure? Like there's this guy called Sly Flourish. Like the book he's working on right now is pretty much all about like how to scale your stuff based on your party, because that's such a nuanced thing that you couldn't really quantify it. Yeah, so he's doing like a lot of research into that right now. So, all right. Hope you guys have a great weekend.
Yeah,
and I will see you on Discord during the week or in other games during the week. If you are in any way interested in that Greek Odyssey game I'm running, I like it so much that it will be the next game I run after one of my other 4 games ends. So I will be running a second instance of that campaign because I enjoy it that much. Like I really do like it. Yeah, so if you don't want any spoilers, don't listen in because it's so well written that I'm honestly running it pretty much like as the book has it presented. Like I haven't had to cobble together like a better campaign because it's already so good. So yeah, if you listen to the podcast or the streams or whatever, you will get spoilers, just as a heads up.
No, I've been deliberately avoiding them just for that.
What is this, a Greek campaign?
It's quality content though.
I still haven't even started my IRL.
That may be the case, but I don't like having to pretend I don't know something's coming.
Yeah,
that's genuinely surprised.
Play Curse of Strahd.
I don't want to see my death coming.
Curse of Strahd, I unfortunately through osmosis know the whole thing, but I've never run it and I've never played in it because it's the one published adventure that I really wanted to play in, and unfortunately by now I have everything spoiled. So
yeah, for like a mix of dice camera action and like just playing it a few times myself, I kind of already know everything. So the last time I played it, I only used meta knowledge once to do a really dumb thing, and that was eat those pies that were totally not made for children.
Shut up.
Chill, dude.
So, anyways,
I'm so happy I wasn't
you
paying
definitely-
attention because everyone just reacted.
Yeah.
You laugh and it's not funny, dude.
All right, I'm gonna head out. You guys enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
All right, bye.
All right,
Bye.
good day, folks.